Alright, Bobcats, I'm going to show you how to put together a chicken parmesan. I've already shown you how to make the sauce. We've got that ready. First thing we need to do is bread our chicken breast. What we have here is what's called a chicken cutlet. So it is chicken breast that's been sliced very thin. You can buy it just like this. You can do it yourself very carefully. It isn't the easiest thing to do, but like I said, you can purchase them already in cutlets like this, and they're ready to go. So first thing I'm going to do, and remember to do this all along the way, you have to season as you go. So I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on that chicken breast to start. So just a pinch of salt, I'm just going to sprinkle that around. A couple little turns of pepper. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to get the other side. Just a little pinch of salt, you don't want to overdo it, and a little pepper. Now I have to set up what's called my breading station. The chicken breast is going to go into a seasoned flour, then into an egg wash, and then into seasoned breadcrumbs, and I have to get that set up first. So for my seasoned flour, I've got 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Put that right in there. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt. About a teaspoon. I'm going to add some turns of fresh cracked pepper, probably about a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. I'm just going to take a fork and blend that together. So I've got my flour ready. Now I'm going to take 1 large egg in the next bowl, crack that open. Check real quick, make sure there's no shell. Remember, if you do get shell in your egg, the easiest way to get it out is to wet your finger a little bit and then go in and grab that shell. You'll have a much easier time with a wet finger. To that 1 egg, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of water. And again, I'm just going to add a pinch of salt and a little bit of pepper. And now I want to beat this up. It's just like making scrambled eggs. You want to make sure you combine it really well so that we don't have like chunks of egg that are falling off of the chicken. You want it to be very liquidy and nice and smooth, which it is now. All right. Finally, we're going to make our breadcrumb mix. I have 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs. Now this is plain panko breadcrumbs. That's these right here. Panko is a coarser ground breadcrumb, and it makes a very crispy crust. You don't have to use panko, I just tend to prefer it. These are unseasoned, so we're going to season them. You can buy breadcrumbs that are already seasoned with Italian seasoning. You don't really need to add anything to those. But I like to do it myself, and I really like to use the panko because I think it makes a crispier coating on the outside of the chicken breast. So 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese that's been very finely grated. And we're going to add a teaspoon of oregano. About that. And a teaspoon of dry basil. Into that we're going to add a heavy teaspoon of salt and some more cracked pepper. Take a fork and we'll mix that up. Make sure it's evenly combined. Great, so we have our breading station set up. We can bread our chicken breast now. Start in the flour, take your chicken breast and just lie it across the flour, and you do want to tap it down, tap it into the flour so that flour sticks, turn it over, get the other side, And now we can take the chicken breast into our egg mixture, or egg wash, as it's called. Same thing here, we want to sort of tap it. We want to make sure that egg is coating everything. Sometimes the chicken folds over and it didn't get any egg on it. You want to make sure that all the flour is nice and coated. Any of that flour that's not coated in egg, the breadcrumbs will not stick to. So we're going to take it out of our egg wash now and sort of let it drip off for a second, and then into our breadcrumbs for the final breading. Same thing, tap that down in there. Give a little flip, tap it down again. Make sure it's coated really well and we don't have any of that egg exposed. And then we can lift it off onto the plate and you can start another one. This mix here is probably enough to do at least 4 cutlets just like this. If you need to make it, a second batch of breadcrumbs or a second batch of eggs, you may have to do that. You can obviously use 2 eggs instead of 1 egg. The flour should hold up for quite a bit, but the breadcrumb you're going to find will start to clump together, and you don't want it to get real clumped together by adding all that egg, so you may have to freshen it up. Make a large batch, put it to the side, and then work in small batches in your breading station. All right, we're going to get the stove ready. Our chicken breast is ready to be fried, and I'm going to show you how to cook the pasta too. Okay, it's time to really put this meal together. I've got some water boiling on the stove here, so we're going to start our pasta first. This pot's about halfway full. The key thing to remember when you're cooking pasta is more water is better than not enough. If you don't have enough water in there, the pasta won't have time to cook before it all starts to stick together and gets kind of icky in there because the water is going to be evaporating. So just keep in mind, always more rather than less. A pound of pasta, like this box here, is probably going to take about a gallon of water to cook. All right? I'm only going to be cooking about half of this pasta right now. So I still have almost a gallon of water in the pot. It can't hurt you to have more water. You can only get hurt by not having enough. Now, another key when we're cooking pasta is the water has got to be salted very well. And when I say salted, I don't mean a couple of tablespoons of salt. I mean a couple of handfuls of salt in the water. The water has to taste salty. If the water doesn't taste salty, it's not going to add anything at all to the pasta. And it really does make a difference in our final dish. So I'm going to take 1, 2 big hands of salt in there. All right. Now you can go ahead and take a tasting spoon and taste it and make sure it tastes salty. If it doesn't taste salty, you need to add more salt. All right, I'm going to open up my box of pasta now and add my pasta. Now this is thin spaghetti. It shouldn't take a very long time. It says on the box it'll take about 8 or 9 minutes. My guess it's closer to like 7 minutes to cook this pasta. Really the only way to know if pasta is done is to try it. It shouldn't be really mushy. It should still have a little bit of a chew to it. All right, that's called al dente. In Italian, al dente means to the tooth. It means you can feel the pasta a little bit with your teeth. Your teeth don't just slide right through it. I'm only going to use half this box. Now when we put pasta in the water, you can't just pour the box right in there. You really need to control it. So I'm going to get the pasta out. I'm going to grab it about halfway, get that under control in my hand, and then I can take it and easily place it right into the pot. And this extra pasta I'm just going to put aside for later. And take your tongs and give it a little stir, and we're going to let this water come back to a boil. Once it comes back to a boil, we can turn it down a little bit, but we do want to keep it boiling the entire time. In the meantime, I've got my pan heating up for the chicken. We're going to add some oil to that, get that hot, and we'll be ready to fry up our chicken breast that we breaded earlier. I am using canola oil in the pan. And we don't want it really heavy. We just want to coat the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to add just a little olive oil to that for flavor. And we are going to just let that oil get hot. Remember, we want it shimmering across the surface. In the meantime, I can give my pasta a little stir and make sure all those noodles are not sticking together. And I also have my oven preheated right now to 475 degrees. You want it to be like 475 degrees, even 500 degrees, because all we're going to be doing in there essentially is melting the cheese on the chicken breast. I'm going to put a little breadcrumb in there to see if my pan's hot enough. And it is starting to sizzle. So we're going to take our breaded chicken cutlet now and gently lie it into the oil. And it is sizzling nicely. You can probably see it's bubbling a little bit. And this is going to take a couple minutes. We're going to brown it up nicely on both sides, and then we'll be ready to put the salt. Oh, pot's boiling over there, so we can turn that down just a little bit. We're going to give this a couple minutes on each side to get nice and golden brown, and then we'll be ready to add our sauce and our cheese to our chicken cutlet. All right, I just flipped our chicken cutlet. You'll see it's nice and golden brown. It's just about done on this side. I'm going to test my pasta real quick here. Just going to grab the tongs and grab one little piece, let it cool off, grab it, and give it a try. And it's still very hard in the middle, so we know it's not ready yet. In the meantime, I think our chicken is probably about ready. Let's check that. Yeah. Nice and golden brown on both sides. It looks very crispy. Just want to shake that oil off, and then we can transfer it to our pan to go into the oven. Put that right there. So we have our chicken on the pan. And what I have here is some mozzarella cheese that's been grated up. And I also have a piece of provolone cheese and some finely grated Parmesan cheese. So what I'm going to do is take some of this nice fresh homemade tomato sauce that we made earlier. I'm going to take a ladle of that sauce and put it right across the top of our chicken breast. Now, we can top this. First, I like to take a piece of provolone. And if you don't have all these cheeses, just use mozzarella. You don't have to use provolone. Actually, you can just use provolone. I do like the combination of all three cheeses. I'm going to cut that piece of provolone in half and lie it on the chicken breast. And now I'll take some of that mozzarella, sprinkle that right on top. And then I like to take the Parmesan and go right on top of that. The Parmesan really helps it brown up nice. I got my oven preheated, and I'm going to slide it in there for probably about 3-4 minutes so it gets nice and brown and bubbly, and then we'll be ready. Okay, I think our chicken breast is about done in here. Let's open up the oven and see. Oh yeah, looks good. See, it's nice and brown and bubbly. Now the parchment paper burned a little bit. The chicken's nice and brown and bubbly. The parchment paper burned a little bit, which is not going to happen if we had more chicken breast on there. Also, to be honest with you, I had to turn the broiler on to speed the whole process up a little bit. You shouldn't have to do that at home. Just run your oven at 500 degrees. So we're ready to plate this up. I got my plate here. I'm going to take a little bit of pasta. Put that right on the plate. Get a little sauce right on there. Get our chicken breast. Remember, this pan's very hot, so don't grab it without a towel or oven mitts. Lie that right on top of our pasta. You can add a little Parmesan cheese or red pepper flakes to that if you'd like. But there you go, chicken Parmesan with fresh tomato sauce and spaghetti.